Hello all, welcome to the Universal Group of Institution Bengaluru. Today we are going to discuss one of the key initiative that was recently got approved in the cabinet meeting headed by the Prime Minister Modi, which was the initiative by the Department of the Biotechnology. The initiative is known as the Biotechnology for Economy, Environment and the Employment. Let us look at what were the objectives with which this initiative got approved by the cabinet. The important objective of this initiative was that to stimulate the transition of a chemical-based industries to more sustainable bio-based industrial model by promoting a circular economy. As we are very much aware, in the name of the growth, in the name of economic development, we are destroying the environment. Now, this particular initiative wants to be much more sustainable, which promotes the circular economy. As we are very much aware, circular economy is an economic model of production and consumption where the materials are shared, leased, repaired, refurbished till those materials can be utilized in such a way that the waste that is generated out of any process is kept as minimum as possible. The other important initiative that is the key sectoral pillars under this initiative is that high value bio-based chemicals, bio-polymers and enzymes, smart proteins, climate resilient agriculture, carbon capture and its utilization, marine and the space research are the key pillars under this initiative. If you look at the key features of this policy, there are 4 key features that are clearly outlined by the initiative. One of the biggest feature is that it wants to support the innovation-driven R&D and entrepreneurship across the various thematic sectors. Second one is that this will expedite the development of the commercialization of the technology through the establishment of biomanufacturing and the bio-AI hubs and the Biofoundry. In general, this policy will bolster the government initiatives such as the net zero, that is again causing less damage to the environment, lifestyle for the environment, green growth by encouraging the circular bioeconomy. This policy also nurture an advanced feature that is more sustainable, more innovative, and responsive to the global challenges like climate change and sets out the bio vision for the Viksit Bharat 2047. Let us look at the biotechnology sector that is existing in India. India is among one of the top 12 destinations for the biotechnology worldwide and third largest destination for the biotechnology in Asia Pacific, behind the countries like China and the Japan. India's bioeconomy has crossed an estimated $130 billion in the year 2024. One of the key reasons behind the increase to the 130 billion is the onset demand for the biotech products aftermath of the COVID-19 pandemic as well. And one of the key feature of the Indian biotech sector is that India offers a strong capability in contract manufacturing, research and the clinical trials, and is home to the most US FDA approved plants. That is US Food and Drug Administration, and we know very clearly how stringent the regulatory mechanisms of the US FDA. And India is country which is having the most number of the US FDA approved plants outside the boundary of the United States of America, which itself highlights the quality of the Indian biotech sector. The Indian biotechnology sector is projected to reach $150 billion by 2025 and $300 billion by 2030 with a compounded annual growth rate of 17%, which is a really great growth rate. If you look at the present startups that are functioning, biotech startups are 6,000 plus, and which is expected to grow 10,000 plus by the 2025. There are 760 plus biotech companies, 800 plus biotech products are being supported, and one of the key highlight of the reason behind the development of the Indian biotech sector is the initiative of foreign direct investment that has been taken up by the government. 100% FDI is allowed under the automatic route for the greenfield pharma. 100% FDI is allowed under the government route for a brownfield pharma, and up to 74% FDI under the automatic route. FDA up to 100% is allowed under the automatic route for the manufacturing of the medical devices. If these are some of the highlights of the Indian biotech sector, let us look at the weaknesses, the areas where Indian biotechnology sector has to improve. Investment in biotech R&D remains very low. If you look at the budget that has been earmarked towards the R&D in India is less than 1% of its GDP. Of this 1%, hardly 0.1% goes towards the R&D of the biotechnology, which clearly sends a signal that this has to be increased if India has to be relevant in the global arena. Now, the second important weakness that we see here is lack of focus on the fundamental research. If you look at the research paper that are coming out of the US, EU, especially Germany and China, India is nowhere matched to these three superpowers which we can say in the sector of the biotechnology. The fundamental research must be improved and more focus has to be there, and lack of highly skilled labor. Even though India produces more number of biotech engineers, more number of UG and a PG students, more number of students with a PhD in a biotechnology sector, the skilled labor, the quality of the output is not matching the standards of the industry, or there is this skill match between the industry and what the academia is producing. That must be addressed. And the fourth and a very important one is the India's biotechnology sector is having a weak regulatory mechanism. If you look at the controversies that is surrounding approving of the GM mustard, plus the opacity with which the Covaxin, the COVID-19 vaccine that was developed by the Bharat Biotech that was approved, which clearly highlights that the Indian regulatory mechanism must be more transparent if the biotech products has to find acceptance in the other nations. That's it in this session. Thank you.